What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the star cards I use for all of the light side heroes. Just keep in mind that this is my opinion and your opinion can be 100% different than mine. I'd also highly recommend checking out Battlefront Knight's video for a more in-depth version of star cards. Anyway, please make sure to drop a sub for more Battlefront 2 content, and let's get into the video. Alright, so the first one on our list is Chewbacca. And for Chewie, I have my first, and basically what it does is for every enemy Chewbacca defeats while Furious Bowcaster is active, it will extend its duration. And Furious Bowcaster is a very good ability. Extending its duration is just really good, and that's why I use it. Alright, the next card is Impervious, which is every time Chewbacca deals a threshold of 200 combined damage with any ability, he gains 2% damage reduction to a maximum. This effect resets after Chewie's dead. But yeah, I use that because just the 200 combined damage is really good, and damage reduction, always a good thing to have. And last but not least, for Chewie, I have Furious Resilience, which is Chewbacca receives less damage from blasters while Furious Bowcaster is active. Because generally, I use Furious Bowcaster the most when I'm Chewie to pump out that damage. Especially hitting those headshots will definitely deal the most damage, especially to heroes. Alright, next up on our list is Han Solo. And Han Solo, I have Air Burst for his Detonite Charge, which is the Detonite Charge will deal bonus damage if detonated before attaching to a surface, which if you have purple star cards for it, it can deal 20% more damage, which is extremely useful in whatever game mode you're playing in. Next card I have is Smuggler's Wits, which is Han Solo gains an extra dodge ability charge, but all cooldowns are increased. And as you know, if you're getting ganged by any saber hero, you always want that extra dodge so you live longer or have the opportunity to get an ability off to save yourself. But yeah, and next card I have Heavily Modified Blaster. And basically what it does is it's an improved capacitor, allows Han Solo's DL-44 to build less heat while firing. And as a blaster hero, you always want your less cooldown, because the more headshots you can land on the opponent, the better, pretty much. So alright, for the next light side hero is Lando. And Lando, I have Wide-Eyed, which is Sharp Shot, can target enemies at a longer distance. And Sharp Shot generally is good in Trooper game modes, but is also good in HVV if you can target all 4 members of the enemy team. And Maximized Efficiency is my next card, which is if Sharp Shot hits 3 or more targets, its recharge time is reduced for the next usage. And that's really good because more targets you'll hit in definitely in trooper based game modes, because if you're in a pack of enemies, you can use this ability and it will come pretty much right back. And even in hero game modes, it's still pretty good. Alright, last card is Buckle Up Baby, which is every enemy trooper defeated or 100 damage to villains reduces the heat per shot of Lando's X8 Night Sniper permanently by 2% to a maximum. This effect resets when Lando is defeated. And this is a good card because it's really useful in trooper-based game modes. And because every trooper defeated will make his Night Sniper have better cooling. But I would personally recommend the Quick Shock if you're going for HVV, because the disabler is detonated within 5 seconds of attaching to a surface. The shock explosion is longer and enemies are shocked for longer. And as Lando, that shock is golden with pairing that ability with headshots, but for trooper-based game modes, definitely go with Buckle Up Baby. Alright, next hero is Leia. And ever since her rework, she has become a lot better. And her star cards have been changed ever since her rework. But first of all, her first card that I have equipped is Handy Device, which is the cooling of thermal detonators reduced. Because thermal detonators, there's 3 of them, which is great in my opinion. And definitely want to use those, especially for crowd control in trooper-based game modes, and it's really good if you're getting ganged by multiple heroes in hero game modes. Alright, next card is Relentless Firing, which is the E11 Rapid Fire Blaster can be fired for a longer period as the time reduction per blaster shot is decreased. And the more firing, the better for that ability, because her middle ability just, as you know, shreds people, especially heroes. Alright, last but not least, last card I have is Fearless, and this is the blast radius of thermal detonator is increased, which is always good. It performs way better if you're trying to go for crowd control, and it's generally better for HVV as well, because you can damage the opponent if they're not exactly really close to your thermal detonator, which can definitely help you in some situations. Next character is Luke, and Luke has a lot of interesting cards, but the ones that I run is Epicenter, which is Repulse will deal bonus damage to targets standing within half its radius, really useful for trooper game modes, and even good when you're getting ganked in HVV, because multiple people will try to rush Luke's. And Luke's force abilities are definitely really good, and I would highly recommend that card if you're going for any game mode, really. Next card is Intensify, which is every enemy trooper defeated or 200 damage to villains, increases Luke's lightsaber damage by 2 to a maximum. This effect resets when Luke's defeated. And generally more damage for Luke, plus Luke's swing speed is very good. So this is, I would be definitely running this in both trooper and hero game modes. Last Luke card is Rush Immunity, and I use this card because for every rush, Luke Skywalker is more resistant to damage for 3 seconds, which is really good. You want damage reduction, especially for Luke, because Luke can get lasered pretty easily. But what I would also recommend is if you're going for dueling and stuff in Showdown, Jedi Reflexes is also a really good card for that, which is Luke Skywalker can do an extra rush, but the recharge time is slightly increased. And that is useful because Rush is a very good ability, especially for dueling, because you can get that sneaky little hit in, which is very useful and can sometimes win you a fight. Alright, next hero is Rey. And Rey has a good amount of good cards. She has the one that I use for her mind trick is Opportunist, which is Rey deals bonus damage to enemies affected by any mobilizing effect, including mind trick. Because when you mind trick someone, especially troopers or heroes, you definitely want that damage to be upgraded, because it inverts your controls and is very annoying to deal with. And if you can get multiple hits in well or mind trick, you can kill them very quickly. Next one is Deep Mind, which is Rey's mind trick has a longer duration on targets that are revealed by insight. And if you didn't know, insight combined with mind trick is a very good combo for Rey, and this card proves why. And the last one is Street Fighter, which is as a self-trained fighter, Rey's melee strikes drain less stamina, and stamina is a big part in this game, and you definitely don't want to run out of it. Plus, if you play really aggressively, this will help you out a lot. Alright, next hero is Yoda. And Yoda is one of the people I use most for dueling, just because he's really fast, he has really good abilities, and he has an unblockable dash move, which is extremely useful in 1v1 situations. But the first card that I have is Jedi Mentor, which is Yoda receives less overall damage, which is good because obviously he doesn't receive as much damage. But it's also good because Yoda is a smaller target to hit, especially for troopers, and that factor combined with him receiving less damage makes him very hard to kill if you play him right in trooper-based game modes. Next card that I have is Field of Force, which is Presence gives more bonus health when activated, and this is just generally good for you in 1v1s and your whole team if you're playing trooper game modes or HVV. More health is very good. Can never go wrong with more health. Next card is Agility. Yoda can do 1 extra dash attack, but the recharge rate is slightly slower. As I said earlier, his dash attack is very useful and can help you out in multiple situations in hero game mode, especially dueling in Hero Showdown. And it's always annoying when that enemy or opponent is one shot and you just don't have the ability to do it with other heroes. But the thing with Yoda is that unblockable dash can finish him off, which is very useful. Next hero is Finn. For Finn, I have all of his Deadeye cards on because Deadeye is by far his most broken ability. First one is Stay Calm, which is for every enemy Finn defeats with Deadeye, its active will extend its duration, which is extremely good for trooper game modes because you can shred on the battlefield. You can destroy with that ability because same thing as Chewie's extend duration ability. If you're grinding in co-op or if you're in Galactic Assault and there's multiple people and you use that Deadeye ability, it will definitely rack you up the kills. Alright, next card is Raised to do one thing, which is Finn's Deadeye has a larger lock-on radius, which is good because, again, larger radius for Deadeye, and Deadeye carries Finn in my opinion. And last card is No More Running, which is after 3 kills with Deadeye, its damage is increased. This is a banger card for hero game modes, or not hero game modes, sorry, trooper game modes. It isn't too bad for hero game modes either, because if you're sticking with your team and you have 3 people low and you can kill one of them and switch to the 2 others and kill them after, it can definitely make killing the other heroes very easy. Alright, after Finn is ObiWan. And for ObiWan, I have the most broken card, which is Jedi Resilience, which is Obi-Wan Kenobi has increased maximum health regen. And I don't like this card when playing against it because it's very annoying, especially for Obi-Wans that just hold block the whole time and literally don't fight you at all and play extremely defensive. But I use it because generally if you get low in a duel with Obi-Wan, you can just regen your stamina and regen your health and you will be back in the fight with ease. Next card is Perfect Defense, which is blocking blaster and lightsaber attacks drain less stamina. Stamina for Obi-Wan, his base stamina is already extremely good, plus you can improve it with this card, which makes his stamina even more broken. And the last card is Think It Over, which is enemies are affected by Retractive Mind Trick for a longer time, which is very useful, especially in duels when you have that Maul, especially because he has very fast ability recharge, and this can definitely help you out in 1v1 for sure. After Obi-Wan is Anakin, and Anakin's cards are very good. I personally run Massive Strikes, which is Anakin Skywalker deals more damage with his lightsaber attacks, but they drain more stamina. Damage heavy is really good for Anakin, even though his stamina is not the greatest, especially if you're playing in trooper game modes. This is very good because you can one-shot, I believe, any infantry but the heavy. And that is extremely useful if you're going to go for kill streaks or any type of long period fight. Next, I have Raw Strength, which is Heroic Might, deals more base damage. Who doesn't want more base damage? Base damage is key, especially to Anakin, because he's already damage tank enough, and you can add more damage with this card. And this is very good crowd control ability, especially for trooper game modes, and this is a must for trooper game modes. Last card for Anakin is All of Them, which is Pull Dominance deals 50 more damage if minimum number of targets are affected. Again, anything with more damage is really good, and Pull Dominance is really good, especially for that pesky Boba Fett who flies away and is really annoying. And what better thing to then pull him towards you and screw him up with your heavy damage attacks. Next hero is last but not least BB-8. And I don't have all the cards unlocked for him because I don't play BB-8 at all. But if I were to play him, I'd probably go maximum health regen or increased health regen, just because he's doesn't have a lot of health, but more health for BB-8 the better, because he is pretty easily killed if you don't have good recharge on Cable Spin, because Cable Spin kind of carries BB-8 in my opinion. Next card that I have is Head First, which is BB-8 deals more damage when hitting an enemy with rolling charge. And it's pretty much Han's shoulder charge, but for BB-8, and more damage for that is pretty good for killing troopers. And last, I have Whirlwind, which is both damage and area of effect Cable Spin are increased. Cable Spin carries BB-8 in my opinion. and anything that has more area of effect for cable spin is really good, especially for crowd control for tripper game modes. And with that said, that will be the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed, and stay tuned for the villain part of the star cards. I will be going over all of the villains, and that will be coming soon. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.